Welcome back to another day of U.S. history with Mr. Sanchez. I'm Mr. Sanchez. Today we are going over eras. What are eras and how do they help us remember history? Let's jump right into it. So as always, we are in our Google Classroom. You need to locate my class. So Sanchez, whatever period, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th period, U.S. history, click that. From there, you're going to go to class work. Up here, look at my mouse, look at my cursor, class work, click that. And then you're going to go to the topics. This is going to be important because as we go through the year, this is going to start filling up. Your stream is going to start filling up. So it's going to be hard to find everything, but you can have a shortcut right here in the topics. So intro/eras, click that. And look for today's date, 1920. Click it. You need to click it to see this part. And now what you're going to do is you're going to open multiple things. Again, don't do this yet. Wait until I tell you to. You're going to click the Google slide just so you have it up and for you to go through and click the links that you have to click through. And then from there, you can get all that. And from there, you're going to open the notes for today. So here are the notes. Is up here under your work assigned, which means you have to turn it in by the end of today, either Wednesday or Thursday, whichever day that you are watching this, and this is the lesson for that day. So you're going to click that, open it up. This is what I like to do. First of all, I like to move my PowerPoint next to my video. So this YouTube video, bring over next to this tab. So there should be a YouTube video or the webcam, and then the slides, Google Classroom, and then the notes for today. In that order, easy. There should be nothing else on there. Now that we have all that situated, let's go to the PowerPoint for today. So now we have the slide up, and the first thing you should do right off the bat is click the attendance check-in. Click that and make sure you note that you were here in class and you're doing some work. Of course, it will have your name, your ID, select the class that you are assigned to, and then check in how you're feeling. See how things are going. Let me know. I'd like to know. From there, you're going to write the word of the day in your journal. So what's the word of the day for today is era. Era. Leave blank for now. The reason why I have that there is because we are going to learn what an era is by the end of the lesson. So do not write anything there yet. Now, with those who are fast with their Twitter fingers, stop searching for it now. If you copy and paste the definition from a dictionary, you're automatically wrong. That's not what I want. Bah, gone. Let's get some Pokemon in here. No. Gone. Off on the spot. Don't write anything there yet. We'll come back to that later. Now, the next thing is your warm-up. And your warm-up can be found on your handout. So what is the warm-up for today? Here are the questions. If you were to create different chapters for your life, what would the name of each chapter be? Explain why you chose a name for each chapter. Give me some explanation. Why would you give it that specific name? How many chapters would you have? So go ahead and go to your notes right now and answer those questions. When you're done, come back to this video. All right, welcome back. Thank you for filling out those questions. I'm very interested to see what your answers were and why you chose each chapter. So what you did right there gives you a little bit of an idea of what an era is. Each chapter. Kind of like a chapter in history. How will we do that? Eras, kind of like chapters. But we need to be more specific with our explanation, with our definition. And that is what this whole lesson is about today. So before I move on, again, if you are deciding to come to a synchronous lesson, make sure you mute your mic when you come in. Close all tabs right now. So you have other tabs open other than the video, Google Classroom, and your notes. Get rid of them. Cross them out. Be Pokemon. Gone from the site. My tutoring times are from 3 to 4 every day. So from 3 to 4, if you need help, click this little link over here. It'll take you there. So the objective for today is I will synthesize a definition for the term era by comparing different videos that organize history to explain why specific eras begin and end in U.S. history. So eras are very important in organizing history in our head. But what exactly is an era? Right now, your head is like... Think of Good Mythical Morning. You don't know, that's a YouTube channel. And what they do sometimes, they like to put stuff in the blender, mix it all up, and see how it tastes. Think of like a very nice breakfast. Eggs, bacon, French toast, pancakes, orange juice, you're a coffee person like me, Starbucks espresso coffee, not sponsored, coffee, put that on the blender, blend it all up. How does that look now? Yeah, it's not that great. And that's how history is possibly in your head right now. It's just one big old blended nasty mess. But one thing that can help unblend this and reorganize it back to the nice pretty breakfast plate that we can get at gyms is eras. Eras can help us make the blended back to being beautiful. So today's activity is era investigations. You're to come up with your own definition of what the word era means by analyzing 2 videos organized by eras. So that is my biggest hint to you to trying to figure this out. You know from here on out that the videos that you're watching are organized by eras. So the organization, the videos are following the definition of eras. It's up to you to analyze these videos to determine what the definition of era is. With that being said, what do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Thank you. That is what we're being today. We're being investigators trying to locate the definition of an era. So on the lesson notes while watching the video, or after, 1 and 2, because they're doing asynchronous, you may not be able to watch the video. Describe the characteristics you notice about the creator's choice of dances. Can include music. Explain how the dances were organized and why you think so. So the first video we are going to be watching is the history of dance. The evolution of dance over time. So as you're watching this, or after you watch this, and maybe you need to watch this twice on your own, go ahead and describe the characteristics you notice about the video, such as dance, music, visuals, etc. Be specific. I need specifics. Be super specific, super detailed. Remember, we need to work on being very detailed in our writing, detailed in our observation. List as much as you can. Use the stems I noticed in your writing. I noticed this, I noticed this, I noticed that, I noticed this, I noticed that. Go as detailed as you can. Try to list as much as you can. And then the second thing, explain how the dances were organized and explain why you think so. So, you have all these details, things that you notice from all this information. Everything that you gather through your eyes and your ears. Maybe some smells. Hopefully not smells. That'd be weird. Explain how this was organized. How do you think this video was organized? And explain why. Explain your reasoning. That's what we're always working on here. Explain the reasoning. The why and the how. The why and the how. So go ahead and pause this video. Watch the evolution of dance. I will also link it down in the description. And then when you're done, come back to this video. Go ahead and press pause. Down there somewhere. Over here. Somewhere. Over here. Probably over there. There. I can't see. Alright, welcome back. Good thing you wrote down everything there. I'm going to see it later. And hopefully, I'll be impressed. Maybe, once I get another blackboard up here, your name will be on it. We'll see. So moving on to the next part of the slide, part of the lesson. Number 3, create your first definition. Now I know it's blank here, but don't worry. I'm just going to fill in with this video here where it automatically starts at this exact time. Now, you went ahead and you listed everything you saw in the last video. You explain how you thought it was organized. Well, that explanation is going to be used to determine your definition. So based on your observation, create a definition of the word era. What is an era? What do you think the definition of era is? Not what's online. Don't Google it. Don't look it up. Because if you do, you're going to be wrong. Period. The end. Gone from sight. Use the stem. An era is this. You already explained how the last one was organized. So just modify that to create a definition. So I'm going to go ahead and give you time to do that. Go ahead and pause the video and we'll move on. Alright, so you got the definition down, your first definition. First? Yes, first, because there's going to be a second one. So don't worry, we got another video. So on to the next video. So the next video we have is the history of Miley by 2 members of the Pentatonics. Great singers. Now, while you watch this video or after you watch this video, like the last time, describe the characteristics you notice about the video, such as dance, music, visuals, etc. List as much as you can. What are you noticing that's happening in the video over time? And then Explain how you think the dances were organized and why you think so. Yes, I know they're organized by era, but be more specific. What does that mean? Be specific. How was it organized? Based on what? So here, I think the creator organized, wait for it, the video based on what? Because what? Be specific, be detailed, give me that explanation, explain your logic. That's what I'm grading you guys on. Check it out and be specific. So I'll give you time to watch the video, split screen it, watch it separately, watch it twice, up to you. This is your time. Go ahead and pause the video. Alright, so we answered the next 2 questions. It's time to move on to the next part, and you can probably already guess it, looking back in history. Create your final definition. You create your first one. Now it's time for your final draft. The one that you're ready, you're like, this is great, this is polished. So, based on your observation, create a definition for the word era that is different / more accurate than your first definition. Use the sentence stem and era is ... So, big point here. That is different and more accurate than your first definition. It's not, you can't use the same one as last time. You gotta be different and more accurate. Take what you learned. You got more information now, more evidence to use to make a better definition. So, again, go ahead, pause the video, and complete that. Welcome back. You put in the definition. I'm proud of you. Yeah, there we go. Round of applause for you. And now that you have this final definition that is more accurate and different from your first one, let's share it with the rest of the class. Share your final definition. So what you're going to do here in a little bit, not right now, wait until I tell you to. You're going to go and onto my slide, click this link, Padlet. This will take you to a Padlet for your class. Look for different periods. Under your period, your specific period, your one and only, click the plus sign. And from there, you're going to put your first and last name, and then you're going to write the definition of your era, or what an era is. Then, after that, read through the different ones. See what all your other classmates put there. And like at least 3 of the definitions that you see there in your class. And if you want to check out other classes, if you have that opportunity, check out the other classes. But you're only liking 3 within your own class. Once you are done with that, then you're going to go back to your notes and answer the next section. Number 6. After reading your classmates' definitions, how can you make your definition better? You saw so many different examples that are not your own and coming from a different perspective. So how can you make your definition different, better, and explain why? So go ahead and pause this video. Go on Padlet, copy and paste your definition into your selected class, and then answer the next part of your notes. Okay, now welcome back. Now you've finished what you need to get done. You went on Padlet, share your definition. You like 3 other different definitions from your classmates, and now you told me how you can make yours better. So we are going to move on. The definition of era. Drum roll, please. The definition of era. Era, a period of time marked by distinctive characteristic events and changes. That's the official definition right there, but not the definition I want you to write in your journal. What I want you to write in your journal right now, in your definition section, is your definition of era. Because that's the definition you wrote that you understand. This one, but the one you wrote, it was great. So go ahead and write your definition there. But before you do so, let me say this. Down here, you have a bunch of examples of eras. You have so let's take history. You have ancient, classical, medieval, Renaissance, industrial, modern, the atomic era, the information era. In comics, you have different Batmans. Batmans in themselves have different eras. Flash have different eras in itself. And then Disney, look at that. You have the golden, I don't know what the other one is, silver, bronze, Renaissance, all these other ones. They all have eras. The eras are everywhere. If there's history, there's eras. You can't help it. So right now, go ahead and write down your definition of era in your journal. So go ahead and pause this video somewhere around here. Now here's a question I want to pose to you. I'm on the next slide. And this is also the next part of your notes. Can there be 2 or more errors happening at the same time? Think about it. Can there be more than 2 errors at the same time? Having issues? Come to a conclusion? I'm not quite sure because I can't see you. That's an issue with asynchronous. But let me ask you this question. Are we currently in the atomic era? Do we have nuclear bombs right now in our country? We do. But are we also in the information era, where we have smartphones that have easy access to Google and the internet? We do. So are those 2 eras happening at the same time? Yes, they are! Now let me give you another one. Here's another one. Is LeBron currently playing basketball? Yeah, so we are in the LeBron era. But is Stephen Curry playing basketball? Of course. So we are in the Curry era. So those are eras happening at the same time. But wait, how can these eras happen at the same time? Well, they're different topics. So for the informational and for the nuclear, one is about energy and weapons, the other is about the internet. But what about, we're in the same topic, what about basketball? Basketball, see, they're both, like LeBron and Curry, both basketball, how can they have it at the same time? Well, they're different eras in a specific topic. So LeBron is in the Lakers, while Curry is in Golden State. And if LeBron isn't in the Lakers, I apologize, I don't really keep up sports. So eras depend on the topic we are discussing. And if there's different topics, then there can be more than one era happening at the same time. And this is very important to U.S. history because we are going to have certain eras that happen for a very long time while other eras are happening. But they're different topics, different realms, so to speak. For an example, westward expansion, which we're going to get into right away, goes from basically 1800 to 1900. That's 100 years right there. So much can happen in between, and so much does happen in between, but westward expansion is just one topic, while there's other topics still happening along the way. So there can be more than one era happening at the same time, and this is really important to understand so we don't get confused in the future. So go ahead and in your notes, answer this question. Number 7. Can there be 2 or more eras happening at the same time? Pause the video. Alright, now that you have that answered, now that we understand this, hopefully we understand this, I got some bonus words for you to put in your journal. If you don't have your journal yet, put in your notes somewhere so you can come back to it later. So the bonus words for today, we have turning point. A point in history marked by a significant event that fundamentally changed the way people live. This is just a major focus point where things change forever. So let's focus on the atomic bomb. There's a time before the atomic bomb. Once the atomic bomb was created, was there going back? Nope, and we are still suffering today. The creation of the atomic bomb is a turning point in history. We went from before a nuclear era to a nuclear era. So turning points are these major points in time that indicate a shift or change in history. Now, chronological order, that's just a term that you're going to be seeing when in the instructions. So when you see put something in chronological order, it means put things in the way in which it happened, or based in the order in which it happened, from oldest to newest. Think of numbers. Put numbers in chronological order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Versus 1, 5, 3, 8, 7. That's not chronological order. Put them in order. Chronological just means from oldest to newest. So I'm going to go ahead and give you time to put this in your journal for your definitions or in your notes online. So go ahead and pause the video. So we are moving on from here, and guess what? Hopefully you watched the video that I put on to your Google Classroom and resources, how to set up your journal. Because it is time for us to write stuff in our reference section of the notes, the first 4 pages. This should be on page 1, big, bright, easy to see, because we are going to be referencing this over and over and over and over again. You can ask the last year students. These are the dates that need to be in your head, memorized, understood. If you haven't set up your journal yet, go ahead and pause this video and go to the description below in YouTube, if this is up on YouTube. And go ahead and locate the link for how to set up your journal, or you can go to your Google Classroom and click the topic called resources, and from there you'll see the video plus other resources there. And watch the video on how to set up the journal and come back to this video. Alright, so hopefully you went off to see the video, you set up your journal, or you already have it set up and all the information is written down. It is time to move to our last slide right here. Your exit learning ticket, your exit task and checklist. For right now, your tasks, it's not going to be in your notes like last time. This is going to be on the Google form. I'm testing things out, seeing how things work, what works best. So after I tell you to, you're going to click this link and answer these questions. Here are the questions. What are some examples of people using arrows to organize history today? TV, movies, cars, fashion, sports, etc. How in sports do they organize the history of sports? What are the different eras? How about fashion? How about cars? How about movies? How about TV shows? How about music? Music's a good one as well. And then, what are the turning points? What turning points do they choose? Why are those turning points? How are they turning points? This is what you're going to be answering in this survey. Once you're done, click submit and go through the checklist. You wrote down the definitions for era, turning point, chronology in the definition section of your journal? Did you post your definition on Padlet? Did you wrote down the anchor dates in quick reference section of the notes? Submitted the lesson question and notes? Submitted the exit task? And can you explain what an era is in your own words? The more boxes you check, the greater the success is. You can raise your hand and shake it proudly. And that is the end of today's lesson. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me for another day, another fantastic day of learning U.S. history. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me at any point in time. My email or do talking points or through Google Classroom itself. I'm here to help explain even further and try to make sense of all this. I know things are confusing, but don't worry, we'll get through this together. Until next time, have a great rest of your day.